Sharon.
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 Sherry!
Hey, this is Sharon.
Sharon, come on, Sharon. Come on, Sharon.
Bye.
Hey Sharon, my name is Aiden Avgis, team leader with Remax Infinity.
AP Will Productions.
What is up, my fellow real estate assassins? My name is Aiden the Realtor. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a step-by-step guide on what the process of buying a house looks like, from scrolling on Zillow at night to getting to the closing table.
Tell them to bring me my money.
I will be covering everything from lending to title to inspection to appraisal, explaining what earnest money is, to all the good stuff in between. We are back better than ever with some new equipment.
We are fucking back! We're back! We are back!
From here on out, I plan to do weekly uploads, including live cold calling, more real estate walkthroughs, gaming of some sort, and anything that you guys request. So if any of that interests you, just leave it down below in the comments. I'm really trying to start a wave of young agents helping each other, growing, and getting to the top organically. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Aiden Avgis. I am a 21-year-old team lead in the state of Ohio. I am associated with a brokerage called Remax Infinity, and I'm solely here to teach you guys the systems and skills that have helped me climb to the top of my county, including lead generation, organization, follow-up, communication, listing leads, buyer leads, expireds, FSBOs, pre-foreclosures, you name it. I am going to be covering it. I know I haven't uploaded in over a year, but bright side, new equipment, more knowledge, and a lot more to cover. So enough yapping, guys. Let's get into it. All right, so step one, the interest. You and your significant other just had a nice wine and dine dinner at Gervasi Vineyard. Drinks were flowing, you had a good meal. You had the calamari, the clams, the filet mignon, the whole aphrodisiac. Then you get home, you shower up, you lay down, you're ready to have some fun. But then your significant other goes, wow, I hate our apartment. So you're gonna do what any logical person does. You're gonna get on the good old Zillow app. So you're scrolling, you pick out a couple houses you like, and then you're thinking, I don't have $300,000 to buy a house. Where do I go from here? So that's where I come in. You pick up the phone and you call your handy dandy local realtor man.
Jump hole 50, I'm out the window throwing 23, front flip a fuck nigga low, thinking.
Now on Zillow, there is an option to connect yourself with a buyer's agent. I highly recommend this only because Zillow's algorithm bases it off of who pays per zip code. Most of the people paying per zip code are hungry team leaders looking to feed their agents those leads. So these hungry team members that are hustling, trying to climb their way up to the top, are gonna take your call and do everything for you. So you connected with the realtor, what's next? The realtor's then probably gonna book the showings for you, but in the meantime, they're gonna be convincing you to speak with a preferred lending partner. That lender's probably gonna give you a call in the morning and there's gonna be some sort of application for you to fill out. This is just the residential pre-approval application. What this does is it allows the lender to do a small dive into your finances to see if you are fiscally able to purchase a home. After looking at things like your job history, finances, and credit, they'll then be able to issue something called a pre-approval letter. Now this pre-approval letter is crucial. You cannot offer on a piece of real estate without this pre-approval letter. Your realtor is going to stamp this on top of the purchase agreement. So the first thing the seller sees is going to be this purchase agreement. It's going to have things like the lender's phone number, their NMLS number. It's going to go something like this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, thank you for showing interest in purchasing a home with our institution. You are pre-approved conventional financing, say up to $300,000, 15% down. It's going to explain your loan type, if you need any seller paid closing costs, and everything pertaining to your loan. So now what? Step 2 is going to be getting into that motherfucker. Step 2 is going to be getting into some showings. I want you guys cramming these out with your realtor. Make them work 5, 6, 7, 8 a day. I want you to see all of the houses. And eventually your realtor is going to see what you guys like, narrow down your search, and hopefully find you the perfect home. The wife loves it, the kids love it, the neighbors, the dogs, the dad, your brother's uncle, sister's cousin, your cousin's brother. The whole family loves this house. So then you go to your realtor and go, what next? Next is going to be the offering phase. Yay! You picked out the house, you love it. Now you're like, I don't have $300,000 to buy this house. How do I do that? So your realtor is going to draft up about 5 documents for you. the purchase agreement, the residential property disclosure form, the agency disclosure form, if it's built prior to 1978, the lead-based paint disclosure form, and any other compliance documents pertaining to the brokerage that you're working with. Now, in this purchase agreement, it's going to have hundreds of lines, and you're like, what am I looking at? I don't want to look at boring paper. But luckily, you have a licensed realtor representing you that can explain these things.
Jump hole 50, I'm out the window throwing 23, front flip a fuck nigga low, thinking.
So the first 20-30 lines are going to be purchase price, earnest money, parcel number, any inspections, loan amount, balance of down payment, and just the basic information pertaining to your purchase. Think of it as like a bill of sale for a house. So if you scroll down a little bit in the purchase agreement, it's going to mention something called inspections. Get an inspection. As a realtor, I have to recommend always getting an inspection. Now, there's some case scenarios where you might have to waive it if you're in multiples to actually win the house, but that is a last resort option. I never ever recommend it. With that inspection, it's more than just knowing what's wrong with your property. It has something called a contingency attached to it. What that means is grounds to back out of a deal with no legal repercussions. Say you fall under contract on this house, you get the inspection done, but say you go in the basement and it looks like the Costco guys had a wrestling match in it.
We bring the boom!
There's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of latent damage that you did not see with the naked eye. You're gonna say, I don't want this house anymore, or I want this stuff repaired. That's what that contingency attached means. So you have three options when you get this inspection report back. You can either A, have the seller fix those problems, B, get a credit at closing to address those problems, or C, back out of the deal entirely. Sorry, fourth option would be just proceeding with no repairs. So you get this inspection report back. It says there's a galvanized pipe, or knob and tube wiring, or GFCIs that don't work. Your realtor's then going to draft up a document called the Removal of Contingencies form. They're going to outline in this form what the seller needs to address and fix prior to closing. You then sign that and send it over to the seller. It's going to say Mr. and Mrs. Seller to address the galvanized pipe, the knob and tube wiring. It then opens up a new negotiation. The seller can do three things. They can either accept, counter, or decline, just like offering on the property. So say they agree. They're going to do all those repairs for you and life is dandy. But what if they say no to those repairs? Your realtor can then renegotiate those repairs, maybe in the form of a price drop or a credit, something along those lines. Then, in the event that you come to an agreement, that contingency is removed. Alrighty. So further on down in the purchase agreement, it's going to have a lot about liability, walkthrough,
Keep yapping, man.
and everything pertaining to the purchase. Next is going to be the residential property disclosure form. This is a form that the seller fills out, and it's everything right and wrong with the property to their best knowledge. So say you close and the seller is hiding something that they did not disclose on that form. You can then pursue litigation against that seller. Next is the lead-based paint form if built prior to 1978, just stating since that the house was built before 1978, there was once lead-based paint in that property. Very unlikely there is anymore. You're going to have the opportunity to do a hazard inspection or just waive that entirely. Next is the agency disclosure form. This just states who is representing who in the transaction. And say they accept all those terms, bada bing, bada boom, you are under contract, boy.
What's good, my boy?
How you?
Staying out the way.
Okay, that boy clean, man.
No, for real.
So, you're under contract, inspections are done, you want your keys, the wife's complaining, you just want in. What is next? So after all contingencies are removed, the lender is going to order something called an appraisal. An appraisal is an estimate of a property's fair market value determined by a licensed appraiser. It's basically putting a price tag on your house. Why does the lending institution do this? For one big reason. Say you buy this house and never pay your mortgage.
Please, can you spare some change?
The lender wants to know what it's worth so they can sell it for that much in the event you foreclose. Typically, you can tie this into your closing costs or just pay it up front. Now, say you're under contract for the property at $300,000 and the appraisal comes back at $295,000. Unfortunately, the sale cannot go through if the appraised value is under the purchase price. So, what happens now? Three things can happen. One is an appeal from the buyer's agent. Two is the seller brings the purchase price down. And three is you pay the difference. Now, I've represented transactions where all three of those have happened. So it's really up to your realtor to determine the best outcome and have your best interest.
Jump hole 50, I'm out the window throwing 23.
Sorry, got a sweet and spicy lead that just texted me to see some houses. Anyways, so say appraisal gets handled, we're all good and dandy. The next stage for the buyer is called underwriting. This is when a team of underwriters from the mortgage institution that you picked, they're gonna do a deep dive into your finances. They're gonna make sure that this loan is solid for them and they are going to make money on it. If everything comes back good with underwriting, the lender is gonna issue something called the clear to close. And while all of this is happening, the title company that you chose is doing all of the work. They're pulling the parcel history, seeing if there's any deed restrictions, handling everything with the county auditor. I don't like to see hate on the title companies because they put their work in. Shout out Tiffany from First Source. That's my gal. But yes, clear to close means what you think it means. We are ready to close. That gets 5 big
You hear me? Hit the rollie, start with the rollie on. What was our getaway car? Jaguar.
booms. Boom, boom, boom. So yes, all smiles now. Your realtor's probably gonna come with a big basket of knickknacks and crafts. You're gonna come with your pen. You're gonna sign a comically large stack of papers. And depending if there's a post-closing addendum and title transfers the same day, you will get your keys.
I might swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa, bitch, hold on tight.
Everyone is happy, everyone's ready to go. But there you go, that's it. Settle in your new house, take that first poop, and build some equity in the meantime. But yeah, guys, that's kind of like a rough draft of the home buying process. There is a lot more to it, and I know it seems like it is a lot, but a lot of that work is done on my end, the lender's end, and title's end. But alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if I have any young agents out there struggling to get some leads, looking for some advice, I'll put my Instagram right here. You can always message me, and I'd love to help out. But yeah, guys, next video hopefully is gonna be live cold calling some expireds and FSBOs. I'm gonna give you guys some good tips and tricks on how to convert them, and I will not leave this chair until I get an appointment set.
Stop the cap.
But yeah, guys, as always, if you're looking to buy or sell residential or commercial real estate in Northeast Ohio, I'll leave my information below. And if you're looking for a career in real estate, I always have openings on my team. Alrighty, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace!